Workflows don't need to be complicated. They just need to work. This month, Northflow released several updates designed to make podcast production smoother, faster, and more flexible. In this episode, we're taking you behind the build to show what's new, what's next, how it all connects to the way you work, and how these updates prepare you for the next phase, our new dashboard. Let's get into it. Hello. Welcome back to this week's episode of Behind the Workflow. My name is Simona Costantini.
And I'm Taly, Melo.
And today we're so excited to have you here, Taly. I've been looking forward to this episode, because the last few months at Northflow have been all about listening to our users and all about refining how creators who are using our product are managing their production and their production workflow. And we have some really exciting updates that we're going to share with you in today's conversation all about this. So in today's conversation, we're talking about all of our newest updates, why they matter for your workflow, and what's ahead as we plan to roll out our brand new dashboard very, very soon, which we're going to talk about at the end of this episode today. So, Taly, do you want to start off with our very first new product update or feature that we're sharing today?
Yes, and I've actually missed doing some of these product updates, and we've been getting a lot of requests on just like, hey, what's going on in Northflow? So we figured that would be a good idea and a good timing to bring these back. So we'll see how it goes. But the first thing that I want to share with you guys, we just released a couple of weeks ago the drag and drop. So basically, if you're on Northflow and you're either inside an episode or if you're looking at your planning list, you're able to move different tasks around. And that was something that was not part of it before, but now you can even move from one stage to another stage. And it just makes it easier when you're trying to lay out your workflow and just plan overall.
It's so exciting. And this was a feature that was actually highly requested because you don't really think about how much you need to be able to take things and drag them around instead of having to like delete something and retype it in again and so on. So sometimes I feel like, and tell me what you think, Taly, sometimes you don't really realize how important a feature is when you like don't have it, but sometimes they're just so easy to create and to integrate, and it's something that's just like it's very fast. It doesn't take a whole long time to get it implemented or anything like that. So anyways, just a thought.
No, and you're right. We did get a lot of requests for this one. And the way that we've been building Northflow, we're like trying to build as basic as possible. And then we're adding on enhancements like this based on the feedback that we're getting. That's why it's so important. And I always like to emphasize, like, if you don't like something or if you feel like you're missing something on Northflow, let us know, because the way that we built, it was very lean based on our understanding at the moment, whenever we were building. And then the goal is always to continue to enhance and make it better.
Exactly, 100%. And you have to start somewhere, you know what I mean? Like you can't build every single thing right off the gate, because sometimes you could build something and it's actually not something that somebody needs, right? And you're taking the time and energy away from building the thing that people are actually asking for, which is why our feedback from our community is so, so, so important, because it literally shapes the product and the usability and the scalability of the product too. So in any case, yeah, the next one, Taly, I don't know if you want to share a little bit about this one too, updating the dates in our planning calendar. So this is a really cool one. So maybe we talk a little bit about like the problem or the challenge that the old system had and how we fixed it, how we changed it.
Yeah, so before, for you to be able to change the date, you had to click probably like two to three different things to be able to open the modal and then change the date. And now you could actually do it directly on the main page, on the planning page. So whenever you see an episode there, you can just change the date that you're starting and also change the date that you're hoping to have that episode live, all from the same place, from the same window. So that helps with usability overall and with less clicking, of course. And just overall, like it's less time consuming and it simplifies your process whenever you're planning there, especially like if you're on a meeting with your team and you're sharing your screen, instead of having to wait for Modo to open and then change the date, you guys can just click it directly from the planning page.
Which is fantastic because it allows you to just keep going with what you're doing and not stop in your workflow. And you can just continue to add things, continue to change things, move things around without having to be like, okay, like let's stop, let's open. Where am I? I'm lost. You know what I mean? Like it helps you
Yeah.
stay, it just helps you stay in flow. And it makes a huge difference when you're managing multiple shows, different podcasts, and also different release dates, right? Because then you can look at different,
Mhm.
your different things and your different episodes, and looking at it all from a bird's eye view, and you can see everything that you need to see, and you can see right off the bat if there's something that's missing or something that's wrong or something that needs to be changed, and you can change it really easily.
Yeah, in this one, we were doing a demo, and the lady we were talking to, she's like, "Well, can I just click there?" And we're like, "Oh, not yet, but hold on, we're gonna work on that." So this one came out pretty quickly. I think within a few days, we were able to get this one live because it was an easy change on our end. It was just something that we didn't prioritize in the past, but whenever it was called out, we were able to prioritize quickly and get it out as well.
I love that. It's so good. Again, user feedback, so important. So, our third update here that we want to share with you today is filters for my tasks and show tasks. So, Taly, do you want to tell us a little bit about why they're so essential and a little bit about how we've done them to make it easier for everyone?
So, filters are very crucial when it comes to user experience just because you don't like a lot of people get overwhelmed if they're seeing a lot of things. So, filters will actually help you remove that mental overload. That's why we decided to go ahead and give it a try. It has been on our log for a while, so we had an opportunity to pick that up and work on it. And basically, if you are on tasks, you're able to either filter by status or episode. So, like for example, for status, you can just see all of your blocked tasks or completed or anything that's still pending. And then, same thing under my tasks, you're able to filter through there. So, if you want to double check if there's anything that it's blocked and it's because of you, you can go ahead and filter and just see that option there.
That's really good. And the other thing too, especially I know within my own team, not every task is relevant to every person, right? So there's also the piece of you can choose to kind of see everything or you filter down only to what you need specifically. And again, like you were saying with the mental clutter, it helps a lot, but it also makes sure that you're always sticking with what's the most relevant thing to do, especially
Mhm.
when your to-do list feels like it's endless and it feels like you're constantly doing one episode to the next episode to the next episode to the next episode. It gives you a little bit more control in what you're seeing. And yeah, it just like you were saying, simplifies all of the process so that you can stay on top of your production and you like you said, you don't have to hold up.
Yes,
The
and it
yeah,
reduces strolling too, so you don't have to continue to stroll because before you everything was just like laid out, and now with the filter, it just like reduces the strolling. It's easier to be able to scan as well.
exactly. Exactly. And then this takes us to our last update that we want to share here before we get into our big update that's coming up, our bigger picture update, which is so exciting. And if you're watching this video, you can see all of the visuals for this. If you're listening to it, it might be a little bit harder, but if you're watching it, you can see all of the actual screenshots of what this looks like. But the last one is our Google integration. And this one was one that came through because, as you know, working with files and in the production world, you have files that are huge, right? Like you have your video files, you have audio files, you have all kinds of things that take up so much space and so much bandwidth. And so a lot of the times producers, production companies, agencies and the like will go and you either have something like, Google Drive or Dropbox or something else where you put all of your big files in for review. So the biggest reason of integrating here was so that we could have a higher file upload capability and you can very easily send things for review and that kind of thing and give the person, even the guest, everything that they would need. I know, Taly, you're going to explain this a little bit better than me, but it really does integrate with your Google Drive to make file sharing and file review a lot easier without having to go to a million places.
Yes. So this one, it actually solves one of the biggest workflow breaks, right? Which is the context switching. Basically, we're allowing you to not have to go to Google Drive. You can upload everything directly to a specific task, and that will go directly to your Google Drive. So you never have to leave Northflow to do that. And
Mhm.
the cool thing too, especially if you're managing multiple shows, every time that you create a new show, a new folder will be created on your Google Drive, and it will be labeled with that show name, and everything will go directly to that folder. So it's just another way to keep everything organized. And also, like, you don't have duplicates, you don't have like files on Northflow and files on Google Drive. It's all in one place, and it's easier to share with whoever you're working with, either like a editor or someone that you're about to have it as a guest. If you want to share files with them afterwards, that would just make everything smoother for sure.
Absolutely, 100%. And I just think that I just think that it's a great integration, and I think it's important too, to be able to integrate into different things, because the purpose with Northflow isn't to go and like reinvent your whole workflow, right? Because there's some pieces, even if your workflow feels chaotic and even if it is broken, there are probably things to it that kind of make some sense but just need to be streamlined a little bit, like the Google Drive. Like
Mhm.
obviously you're going to go and use the Google Drive or some kind of drive, you know what I mean? Like you're going to use something to be able to keep your files and all that. Like you need that stuff, right? And also
Mhm.
the way in which it gets shared may be a little chaotic, and now it doesn't have to be. So that's so exciting.
Yeah. And it's really all about removing all those little friction points, right? It's like instead of having all of these tabs open for, Google Drive and then Northflow and then something else, you're just going to have one open tab, maybe two, if you have like your Descript or your Riverside open, but that's all you need at this moment, especially as we start integrating with different platforms, that it's going to become a bit more smoother overall.
Mhm. Exactly. I love it. Now let's talk about our bigger picture, our new dashboard, what we have coming down the line. It's so exciting. It's so beautiful. If you're watching this on YouTube or watching it on Spotify, you'll actually be able to see what it looks like, which is so exciting. And as we're kind of going through, Tally's going to show and like share her screen. If you're listening to this on audio, sorry, you can't see it, but you probably should just sign up to try Northflow so that you can see it in action. Haha. Okay, Tally, do you want to go ahead and like walk everyone through what it looks like?
Yes. And just before I even walk everyone through it, just know that we're going to be putting these out in phases. And also, what you're seeing here is in our staging. So it's not live just yet. Maybe by the time you listen, it will be, but we'll definitely send an email out whenever it is live. So right now, I'm inside an actual episode, which that's one of the things that we're changing. Instead of calling it a show, right now we're going to be calling it spaces. So from show, it's going to be called spaces. You can still set it up as a show. It's just up to you. But we have noticed that a lot of people, they don't just need to manage a specific show, but sometimes they have internal projects, like especially for an agency, they have to create like an onboarding project for a specific client, for example. So instead of connecting that to a specific show, that is a space now, and you can create within your dashboard. All right. So right now I am on this one. It's called the Digital Agency. And you can see here we have updated. So you have a different header right now. We have everything that used to be on the sidebar. Now it's over here. So you have projects, planning, assets, forms, calendar, and website. And you can see here that we still have the filters. You can filter based on the active or published episodes. We still have the different views where we have grid, table, or calendar. And then for planning, everything else in here, it's still the same. One thing that has changed, let me go ahead and click here on, I'm clicking right now on a task. And basically when you click on a task, you're going to be able to see all the tasks listed. We did change a little bit on the UI, so everything is a bit more condensed, and you can see more without having to scroll, really. You can see here the different stages, they're all here still. Once you click on it, instead of taking you to a whole new page, it's just opening right where you are. So you don't have to be jumping from one page to another. Everything is in one place, and it just makes everything much smoother. And if you really need to focus on this task, you can always close the two sidebars. We have a sidebar on the left and a sidebar on the right. You can close those and you're able to just type away. If it's your outline for an episode or if you're planning social media content, you can just type away over here And if you need to tag someone on your team to check this out and give you some feedback, you can do that down here as well. So, yeah, that's like the major changes that's coming out on the first phase. And yeah, Simona, that's what we have right now.
It's so
And we'll
exciting.
definitely, it is, it's very exciting. I wish I had more screens to share because I wanted to show you guys what else is coming, but I can give you a quick sneak peek on the term. We're going to be calling it a command center, most likely. That might change. Don't take my word fully for it. But we are planning on creating a command center, especially if you manage multiple shows. That would be a big place where you're probably going to be doing a lot of your work.
Beautiful. I love it. I think it looks so good. It's so clean and it's so like sleek. And I'm so excited to see what the whole, dashboard looks like when all things are live and having, everyone be able to access it. So feel free to go and check out this upcoming feature and all of the new ones by going to northflow.io and creating your free account. You get a free trial. And I want to ask you, Taly, just as we wrap up, which update are you most excited about out of all of them and why?
I think the Google Drive, just because I
Hmm.
was having to go into actually opening Google and uploading like different like files there. I just like to have a backup. And I'm talking about my daughter's podcast. That's the only one that I actually added and managed. But on hers, every time she finished recording on Riverside, I would like download the file and upload it to Google Drive. So I would have like always a raw backup. Now I don't have to do that. Like I don't have to go through Google Drive. I can just open Northflow wherever she has her outline. I can just create a file there that's part of my workflow to save the raw file, and I'll just upload it directly on Northflow. So that's my favorite one. And of course, like I'm really looking forward to the new UI updates that we're doing and just like shuffling things around. Everything is still there, by the way. Like if you are already on Northflow, don't freak out. Everything is still there. It's just organized differently.
Exactly, exactly. I think that they're all so exciting. I was expecting you to say UI first, so you threw me through a loop. I love it. So, as we close our episode today, if you want early access to all of these new features and get a behind the scenes look at what's next for Northflow, you can also join our newsletter. You can do so from our website. It's northflow.io. It's where we share our product previews, creator insights, podcast episode updates, and all kinds of different updates before they hit actual Northflow and any type of social media. We always communicate with our email list first. So go and sign up for our email list. It's at northflow.io. And if we were to run really quickly, Taly, through 4 key takeaways, I think the first one would be that flexibility and clarity will always drive productivity. And the smallest workflow refinements can have the biggest impact.
So, number three would be every update is shared by real user feedback. And then the dashboard, that's our number four. The dashboard will unify planning, production, and performance in just one beautiful view.
I love it. Amazing. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of Behind the Workflow for our little product update here. And I guess, Taly, we'll see them same time, same place next week.
Yes, we'll be here. Hey, oh, one more thing. If
Mm,
if you've been sharing your feedback, keep it coming. Like we read every single message. We try to follow up or so keep them coming. We're eventually work through them. We do have a big backlog at the moment, but we're quickly going through it and try to work on as many as we possibly can.
amazing. Amazing. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We will see you same time, same place next week. Bye for now.